are going to do something that is very, very related to yesterday, but if we had done it all yesterday, it would have been a lot, okay? So we left yesterday feeling really confident, and we're going to feel really confident today, but it's probably just a little bit too much to do in one day. So we're going to be multiplying polynomials again. Okay, and we're going to classify by the number of terms and by degree. I kind of ran out of blanks. Okay, so what is product fancy for? Multiplication, yep. And quotient is fancy for? Good. And sum? Yeah, addition and difference? Good. Okay, so we've got those in our minds. Now remember that we learned yesterday when we multiply polynomials, we're going to need two things, the distributive property and one of our exponent laws. Which one of these is an example of the distributive property? The last one. So I can distribute the -7 and I get -7b squared. -7 times -2 gives me +14. That is the distributive property. Okay. So that is one of ours that we need today. All right, let's review these other ones and see if we can remember which one we need for today. All right, what's this one? I've got powers, raised to a power. Power to power. Okay, so power to power says that I get to do what? Multiply my powers. So I get x, 2 times 6 is 12. Y, what's half of 6? Yeah, y to the third. Make sure those exponents are high up. They're like little top hats. They're not like sweaters, okay? Top hats, not sweaters. Okay. All right, what about this one? Yeah, that's the negative power rule. Okay, I flip to get the reciprocal with a positive exponent. Okay, next one. Quotient. Quotient rule says I get to do what with my powers? Subtract them. So 8 minus 4, that gives me x to the fourth. What y's cancel. And then I've got two z's multiplied together on top and only one on the bottom. So I just have one z left. Okay. Okay, what's the next one? What is this one? Product. Product says I get to do what with my exponents? Add the. Okay, I'm multiplying the bases, so I add the powers, and what happens to the coefficients? They just get multiplied. So I've got 5 plus 5 plus 1. I'm getting 11. Okay, last but not least, I have a 0 power. What do you want to bet this is the 0 power rule? Okay, so the x to the 0 turns into a 1. Then bring down the -5, multiply them together, and I get -5. Okay, which one of those do we need to multiply polynomials? Yeah. Okay, yep.
And the first
Okay, look. What am I doing when I'm multiplying 2x times 5x? What does that look like?
one.
Which rule is it?
A product.
It's the product rule. Do you guys see it's the product rule?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need the product rule and we need the distributive property. Okay, so yesterday we had problems that looked like this without the 2x in front, right? And we just did extended distribution. We learned how to FOIL. We learned how to use a box if that was what we liked. Today, we're going to be doing more of the same. We just have one extra distributing step. So a little side note about numbers. You all are familiar with the numbers 2, 5, and 3, right? You know them. You love them. Oops. I meant to do this. So if I multiply 2 and 5, what do I get? 10. Okay, thank you. And then I bring down the 3, and I multiply the 10 with the 3, right? And I get 30. That's not a surprise to anybody. What I don't do is do 2 times 5 and 2 times 3. Can we all agree about that? Okay. So, can you imagine that this is like the 2, this is the 5, and this is the 3? Do you see it? What I'm going to do is multiply these two together, and I'm going to stop. Okay, I'm not going to keep distributing into my second set of parentheses. I have to stop. Otherwise, I'm multiplying by 2x too many times. Cool? Okay. So, first we're going to distribute into the first parentheses and then stop. So it'll look like this. 2x times 5x gives us 10x squared. 2x times negative 3 gives us negative 6x. Okay? I'm going to stop. I'm not going to keep distributing 2x. I am, however, just like I did here, going to multiply the 10 equivalent with the 3 equivalent. I'm going to bring down the x plus 2. Okay, now this looks like the stuff we did yesterday. Okay, so our second step is to distribute. You can either use FOIL or you can use a box. So we do first times first. That gives us 10x cubed. Now we do the outside terms. 10x squared times 2 gives us 20x squared. Now I go to my inside terms. Negative 6x times x gives us negative 6x squared. Negative 6x times 2 gives us negative 12x. What do you think the last step is? Yes, combine like terms. Perfect. Combine. Oh, goodness. Okay, so our like terms are these two in the middle. So we want our answer in standard form. 10x cubed, 20x squared minus 6x squared gives us 14x squared. Good. And then minus the 12x. That's it. So a couple little reminders. When we're multiplying polynomials, what do we do with the coefficients? And the constants, really. Yeah, they're regular numbers, but they just get multiplied. Okay, we're going to keep our bases. I didn't change my x into a 2 or a 3 or a y or anything weird. Okay, and then we're going to add the exponents. Okay, you have that example to look at. Here is some work that Luna Lovegood turned in. She made a mistake. So your job is to, 1, explain the mistake, and 2, correctly multiply her polynomials. So this one is just like the one that we did. Sometimes doing it correctly can help you figure out what the mistake is. Plus, you have to do it right anyway. So go ahead and look at that. See if you can figure it out. Okay, you guys are right. She didn't follow the rule of stopping here. She kept going. Okay, so she should not have had any of this right here. She should have brought down the x plus 3. So if you haven't already, let's do this correctly. Do you guys want me to use a box this time?
Yes.
Okay, I'll use a box. So we've got negative 3x times 2x plus 4 times x plus 3. I'm going to show you how to do a box with the fewest steps possible on this. So whatever your result is from this first step, you're going to put it as the top of your box. And then you don't have to rewrite it. Watch. So negative 3x times 2x gives us negative 6x. You see how cool this is? Negative 3x plus 4 gives us, whoops, I forgot the squared. Negative 3x plus 4 is negative 12x. And then you just bring over the x plus 3. Then you don't have to write them a bunch of times. Just saying. Okay, so then we get negative 6x cubed, negative 12x squared. What is this? Negative 18x squared and negative 36x. Okay, what's the last step? Combine like terms. So that should be negative 6x cubed minus 30x squared and negative 36x. Questions for me? Okay, let's flip it. Okay, so I'm going to do this one with the arcs, and I'll do this one with a box. We'll just alternate today. So yesterday we had problems that just had a set of, like a binomial in parentheses, squared, right? And we said that whatever power we have, that's how many times we have to write it multiplied together. So we have to write the x minus 1 twice, okay, to expand it. So that's our first step. We have to expand, just like yesterday. So I write the 3, and then I do x minus 1 times x minus 1. I have to write it twice, and then I bring down the negative 6. Now, if you cover up the negative 6, it kind of looks like the ones we were doing on the front, maybe even easier, right? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we did on the front. So we distribute into the first set of parentheses and stop. So that'll be 3x minus 3 for our first binomial. And then I just bring down the rest of the problem. X minus 1 minus 6. Okay, I'm going to do my extended distribution. 3x times x gives me 3x squared. 3x times negative 1 gives me negative 3x. Now I'm going to distribute, oops, let me choose a different color, my negative 3 to every term in my second set of parentheses. We get a negative 3x, and a negative 3 times a negative 1 gives us a positive 3. What do I need to do at the very end, do you think? What got brought down every single time? Yeah, so I have to bring it down one more time because I'm about to combine like terms. So when I combine my like terms, I have these like terms and these like terms. I have linear terms to combine and constants. So that gives me 3x squared minus 6x. And what is that, minus 3? That's it. Okay, we're going to do the next one with a box. All right, box people. It's your time. Okay, so first we have to expand. So we'll write 5 times x plus 2 times x plus 2 minus 1. I'm going to distribute into my first set of parentheses and stop. So that result is going to go on the top of the box. I can already put x plus 2 down the side, so it's ready. Right, so 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay. X times 5x, 5x squared. X times 10, 10x. 2 times 5x is also 10x. And 2 times 10 is 20. Now over here we had to bring down a negative 6 every time. What do you think we bring down over here? Yeah, the negative 1. So when I combine my like terms, boop, 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 I have pairs again. So that gives me 5x squared plus 20x plus 19. Did I write it weird?
No.
Okay, questions for me? You guys have been very quiet. Not really complaining. I'm just like, is this stunned silence or is this like, oh yeah, this makes sense? Are we good? Okay. Okay. Anything we need to ask? Do I care which way you do it? Nope. Okay. All right, the last thing I want us to do for sure is see if we can classify these by degree and by number of terms. Remember that degree is the highest power. Here, let me write biggest. Okay, and then all of the ones for number of terms have nomial in it. Nomial in them. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and then we'll check them together really quick. Okay, do we have any questions about this? Is this what you guys got? Okay, check it real quick. Quartic.
Is the one with two?
Yeah, that's a Q. That's a Q2.
Q. Q. It looks like a creature now.
It's Q.
It's not weird.
Okay, it's a freaking cursive Q.
Write it down on the wrong side.
Okay.
This does actually look like the most easiest homework you're giving up. too. I just-
Oh, it's polynomial.
The last one?
Oh, trinomial. 3 times?
It's not.
There it is. There it is. It's a cursive T. Do they not teach cursive anymore?
No,
they
actually
don't.
I don't know
Okay,
how to
the
write
school I went
cursive.
to,
Yeah,
they did teach cursive.
I don't know how to write in cursive.
I
I
just
just
see
see
it
it when I forgot
when
it after a while.
They
They taught it once
What?
in school, and that was in third grade, and then we stopped.
Why
Oh my
are
God, I
your cues
remember.
like this?
Because those are cursive cues. You should see the Z's. Do you guys want to see a cursive Z?
No, I hated cursive.
Oh my gosh, cursive Z's are crazy. They're like this.
Oh, it's free.
No, I'm telling you.
Free, then you just curve it.
Okay, I didn't make it up. I don't make the rules. I just
Can you show an F?